We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
This is the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin. And today we are talking about infrastructure. Now, more than a month after the bipartisan infrastructure bill passed the Senate, the House finally voted on it. The Squad did not vote for it. They refused to put the American people above their own socialist agenda. Now, several Republicans did step up and vote for it, and they have received endless criticism for it. They've been called Republicans in name only, but they are the true Republicans. Infrastructure was one of the issues that Trump ran on in 2016, and he couldn't get a bill passed because the Democrats did not want to give him a win. Well, now the Republicans are crying the same thing. They didn't want to give Biden a win. Well, guess what? These Republicans, unlike the Squad, put the American people first. Is the bill perfect? Of course not. No bill is. It's a compromise to get the crumbling infrastructure of our country fixed. Republicans have complained that passing the bill gives Biden a win. The truth is, Biden is so far underwater that this doesn't benefit him at all. It also unties it from the Build Back Bullshit socialist bill, giving no Republican or moderate Democrat any reason to vote for that disaster. So, what's actually in the bill? Well, let's take it step by step. There's $110 billion to fix roads, bridges, and major construction projects. This has been needed for a long time, and we're finally getting around to it. There's $66 billion to enhance our passenger and freight rail. Guess what? You know the supply chain problems everybody's complaining about? This is going to go a long way to helping that. Because if you can get things onto rail cars, you can get them into stores. It's not going to fix supply chain altogether. The fact of the matter is the California ports are sorely in need of modernization, and that modernization has been fought against for years by the California unions. So this bill isn't going to solve everything, but it's a step in the right direction with new passenger lines on trains and enhanced freight rail. $65 billion is going to go to build out the broadband infrastructure. That's important for small business. Businesses need broadband. Now, this is actually going to hurt the left. Why? Because if you have broadband all over the country, there's no reason to live in liberal-run cities. So this, not only is it a win for business, it's a win for the economy, it's also long run going to strike at the heart of the liberal strongholds. So this works out well in a lot of ways. There's $55 billion to fix water infrastructure, such as eliminating lead pipes. Okay, these pipes are poisonous. They should have been replaced long ago. This is long overdue. There's $39.2 billion for new public transit. Public transit is important. It helps the lower classes that can't afford cars. It will also help these cities, which is why a lot of Republicans are going, well, do we really want to help liberal-run cities? You do, because, first of all, having public transportation in these cities makes it easier for people to come into the city and not live there. So they can take a train into the city, do whatever they need to do, and then go home. You're talking again about limiting liberal strongholds. There is $47.2 billion for resiliency projects. This is flood and wildlife mitigation, ecosystem restoration, weatherization, and cybersecurity. Essentially, this is going to try to protect the country against fire, against flood, against cyber attack. Again, it's a good thing. We need to do this. We've needed to do this for a long time. Electric vehicle infrastructure, including charges, there's $7.5 billion put aside for that. Now, that's hit or miss. It's a great way to modernize things, but electric vehicles are not all they're cracked up to be. We'll get to that in a moment. Finally, there's $21 billion to address legacy pollution, including cleaning up brownfields and Superfund sites, reclaiming abandoned mine lands, plugging orphan oil and gas wells. This is fighting pollution. It's going to clean up our rivers. It's going to clean up our air. This is a win-win. And let's not forget, a lot of this money, the government doesn't do this by themselves. They hire private companies to do this cleanup, to do the work. So all of this is also going to boost the economy in terms of jobs. So again, the bill is not perfect. Talking about the electric vehicles, the United Nations has released a report detailing the damage that electric cars do to the environment. The fact of the matter is, the rare earth materials that have to be mined for the batteries do a lot of damage. It's not good for our economy because the rare earth materials are located in China, in Afghanistan. There are some in Alaska, but the government refuses to allow mining. So it's not going to the electric car infrastructure isn't going to create the jobs that the Biden administration claims it will. And there are other problems involved with the construction and destruction of electric cars that do damage to the environment, but we'll dig deeper into that in a future podcast. The infrastructure bill will start to fix the crumbling bridges and roads that span this country and provide increased broadband that will empower small businesses and spur economic growth. Watch for the attack ads next year against the Squad, showcasing that they held infrastructure hostage for their own unpopular programs. This is a win for Americans of both parties, but it will not change the fate of the Democrats that we saw in last week's election. If the Democrats push their social agenda, they will see more blowback. The fact that Republicans voted for this bill gives moderates permissions to vote Republican in 2022 and puts pressure on the socialist side of the Democratic Party. All in all, this is a win for everybody but the Squad. I'm Eric Lopkin, and that's the raw naked truth.